I really appreciate Dr. Tim Ball, climatologist, joining us, and I'm going to have my producer call you right now and book those flights for you to be in studio with us coming up in a couple weeks, and I can't wait to shake your hand in person, Doctor. Thank God that more and more people, like yourself, are out there speaking out and standing up, and together, as Thomas Jefferson said, all that evil men and tyrants need to flourish is that good men and women do nothing. And with good men like you out there taking action, I think we're starting to really turn the tide against these people. That's why they really pressed and passed this climate takeover in the House. But I think that's the beginning of the end for them. Thank you so much, Dr. Ball.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Great talking to you. All right, we'll come back. Hit news. Rivero's popping in on what's happened to Cynthia McKinney. Israeli forces have grabbed her, the news is reporting. The BBC has hit me and hit me hard in a savage attack, which I say means we are over the enemy target, hitting them hard. A prominent MI5 officer who broke a lot of news stories concerning using al-Qaeda to try to kill Muammar Gaddafi and others that later was confirmed by mainstream news, came out and suddenly said he was the Messiah. And then after they arrested the individual that made the 7/7 ripple effect, which I think is a very good film, very, very well done, his website then started having comments about how he might be the Messiah or something. This is a classic MI5, MI6 shake and bake. Because they know that sounds crazy. They know that's the way that's their favorite way to try to discredit the information we're putting out, is to have something come out that's really credible and then have the person involved with it say that they're the Messiah. And this is the BBC, has a big TV program coming out on this. They've done 2 attacking me on 9/11. But it doesn't change the fact that local news that day reported the police were chasing down Arabs all over the city and shooting them. That these were the people that had taken part in the drill that day of a mock bombing of the very trains and bus that were attacked at the exact same place, exact same time. Now, that's BBC admitting that, live that day. How strange it was a drill of the exact same trains and exact same bus being attacked at the exact same time. Just like 9/11, exact same buildings, exact same place, exact same time. And I go over all that evidence in Terror Storm, a history of government-sponsored terrorism. And there's no doubt this is a psyop. And, Mr. Hill used the pseudonym Wadib out of the Dune book, which I guess means the prophet. So they say that means he's a prophet. And then it wasn't on his side at first. After he gets arrested, it pops up saying he thinks he's Jesus or something, basically. This is very, very bizarre. But regardless, the film itself is devastating. But he's in jail. So, unmasking the mysterious 7/7 conspiracy theory. It's kind of like that doctor with the anthrax. First they said it was 2 other people. Turned out they didn't do it. The FBI said it wasn't weaponized. The FBI said it was cheap, no big deal, made in a bathtub, probably in a bucket. A bathtub and a bucket was the quote. Turns out it's the most weaponized ever seen. U.S. government, super strained, miniaturized, coated in bentonite. Just the miniaturization process cost over $100 million in equipment. Huge plants. Just one of the miniaturization tanks. In fact, Google for folks on TV right now, anthrax production. And it'll show the giant tanks they used to make it. I mean, we're talking about a facility close to the size of an aircraft carrier to make this stuff. Giant complexes. And they said, no, it was just made in the basement. And then the White House was on Cipro, the anthrax-fighting antibiotic, on September 10th, 3.5 weeks before enemies of Bush at American media, who took photos of his daughters falling down drunk in Austin, and Democrats and other people got mailed the weaponized anthrax. The White House is on the drug to fight it. But then they grab the doctor, they commit him, and then he dies in a straitjacket taking prescription Tylenol locked down. But then the news says he committed suicide at his home, but then local news admits he was killed at the mental institution. Why did the FBI grab him, take him? He's drugged, he dies. So, classic intelligence operation. Classic. I mean, that'd be like if the government came and grabbed me and took me to a mental institution, and then I supposedly killed myself with drugs a day later, and then they put on the news Alex Jones committed suicide, and there was no mention that they grabbed me for no reason and put me in a mental institution. Because the doctor they've now pinned it on believed it was the government and was doing his own investigation and had contacted the FBI, and they said, look, this guy's too close to us, grab him, kill him, say he did it. And now the DNA's come out and other things proving it wasn't him at the mailbox. So that's in the news. In fact, we'll talk about that with Mike Rivero briefly coming up here because he's also an expert on that. Unmasking the mysterious 7/7 conspiracy theory, BBC. And they go over the unbelievable coincidence of the drills that morning, and Peter Powers, who won't talk to the media, he'll literally run and hide if he sees alternative media, ask him about it. And then they say Dune clips, John Hill. He lived in Ireland where they arrested him and had him extradited to England for mailing people copies of the film. He's really John Hill from Sheffield. That's where the Watsons are from. His alias, Muad'Dib, is a fictional character in the science fiction film Dune. So they make that sound like he's insane because of an internet handle. A film starring Sting and Kyle McLuhan about an intergalactic freedom fighting. So they use that to act like he's crazy. None of the film is about Dune. He just has the internet handle Muad'Dib. So they say because that's an Arabic term, that means he's a Al-Qaeda. See? So because of your internet handle, you're now with Al-Qaeda, and then it gets into he thinks he's Jesus.